And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those lovely duct tapes. I apologize for cutting that duct tape short, as we have the grand finals ready and waiting for you. Oh my god, we just got an update. It was insane. And this Terran player here did bring down Hero 2-1, but we'll get into that a little bit later, because spawning in the top right hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming, the KZG. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player. We have the StarCraft World Champion, also representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Oliveira. Oh, I need to fix that. Oh god, it's been quite some time since we have casted Oliveira, and that was back when we weren't certain if he had name changed or not. There we go. Beautiful. We have since fixed that. But yeah, Oliveira did eliminate Hero in the semifinals 2-1. An insane result, a repeat of what happened at TvZ. So Oliveira popping off once again. I do know that a lot of people, despite him being the world champion, still do kind of favor players like your Heroes, like your Marus, and like your Darks. But Oliveira is here to show you all that there's a reason why he is the world champion. There's a reason why he's here in the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Asia 168. Oh. And we'll see how this all kind of comes to fruition. If you do recall, when it comes to Oliveira's run to the finals, he took down Hero, he took down Maru, he took down Raynor, but I believe he was unable to face Dark. So yeah, we get a bit of a treat here. Dark does have a very different approach to ZVT. I'll always remember, Maru recently had like a bit of an interview. I said an interview. He was talking on stream. I think he was called up by TY at the time. And Maru was, or maybe he was having an interview with Crank. Maru was talking about how when it comes to TvZ practice, really it's difficult to get practice in Korea, because Dark is such a unique player that practicing or playing against Dark, it doesn't really prepare you for Raynor and Serral. Just because Raynor and Serral are so much more standard, and Dark has just such a unique way of playing. I mean, we saw that against Cure, you know, Dark going Lingbane Ultra, or Dark going for these Roach Ravager based openers to go into Roach Ravager Lingbane and stuff like that. Like, it's just not really something that some of the other top Zerg players do. And the reason why I bring that up is because Oliveira did look damn good against Raynor, but that was in a much more standard ZVT. Now he's kind of going up against the antithesis of Raynor in a way, you know, a much different kind of top tier Zerg player with his own unique style. So we'll see how that kind of comes to fruition here as we are getting into this. So far, we do see a 3cc before starport opener, so very economic here from Oliveira. Very standard. It makes sense on Ancient Cistern. The map is quite large, it's big, it's huge, it's throbbing, it's amazing. But because of that, you know, we aren't necessarily prioritizing or going for any kind of aggressive opener here from the Terran. There's going to be no onus on him to deal damage. Instead, just standard, just economic. Same can be said for Dark, you know, hatch gas pool, third base is on time as well. We have seen Dark go for pool first openers, even on Ancient Cistern at times, but it's, you know, an unlikely thing to occur. So everything is looking quite normal here to start off this series. Oh, and I should also fix this as a reminder, because it's the grand finals, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3, and oh, Dark is going for a very fast lair, and this is what I'm talking about. Dark, he just has his own way of playing. He just oh my god, he at the football, just at any moment he's just willing to be just hyper aggressive. And with this fast layer, I'm curious if he's going to take more gases. He's taking the second gas in his main base. We'll keep an eye on his third and fourth gas as well. He could be going for a fast Spire for Muta play, or he could be going for something a little bit different. His queen count is quite high. Would he go for something like a Nidus? I mean, he has Overlord spread out between the bases. It is also possible. We have seen Dark go for a Ling at Nidus all-ins, but no, never mind. I thought I saw a third gas, but no third gas for the time being. There it is! Speaking of Link Queen Nidus, we have it here. We've seen him do this to the best Terran players out there, to players like Cure, to players like Maru. Dark is willing to just go all in, and that's what we're getting here. We have a mass amount of queens. We have 7 queens so far, and we're about to have 10. Lings are flooding on in as well. Oliveira needs to scout this. He needs to realize that something is wrong. For the time being, Dark is doing a great job at rotating and keeping up with these Hellions with his queens. Like, there is no way in. And as a result, Oliveira, he hasn't been able to scout the fast lair. He hasn't seen the Nidus either. He hasn't seen that Lings are being banked up. They're actually sneaking out across the map as well. Maybe to try and catch some of these Hellions as they turn around to defend back at home. Lings are being scouted. Now Oliveira, he's a little bit aware that something is wrong, something is amiss. He's turning around to deal with these Lings. Meanwhile, Nidus into the main. Oliveira immediately pulls the boys. Here we go, Lings trying to bust on through, but the wall is quite solid. The Hellions going to be able to clean them up. Meanwhile, the Nidus will not finish. The Banshees are here to defend. Ooh, and this is getting dangerous. Dark is all in with this. He needs to make this work. He's got so much supply, so much supply dedicated here to his army. The Nidus once again is going to be denied, and the Lings, they just can't find a way in. Oh, they try to go for a surround, but Oliveira is quick to pull on back. He has his Reaper as well. The Lings, oh my god, get absolutely roasted. And Dark, he keeps on trying. He's continuing to try and make this work, but oh my god, the Nidus does finally finish up. Not in an ideal position, to be fair, but my god, how many queens? 10 queens in total, plenty of energy for transfuse. We have another Nidus here on the other side of the wall, but now we have a tank, now we have Banshees. I love that we have an armory on the way for Hellbat specifically. That will help so much against all these Lings. For the time being, the Hellions are cut off from the main army. They are stuck here on the right-hand side. Oof. The wall no longer being a wall. The Lings are trying to find a way in, and they will be diving on top of these Hellions, but oh my god, this is not a good fight for Dark. Ooh, already half of his Lings go down. Meanwhile, another Nidus finishes in the main base, but the Queens are being targeted down. The Banshees are going to fall here. But with the power of Marines, oh my god, GG gets called and Oliveira takes the first game. Reacting so quickly. He never scouted the lair. He never scouted the Nidus. His reactions were all off the cuff. They were all just there in the moment. And he was able to completely shut down not just the Nidus, but also wall off as well. Dark was hoping that the wall at the natural was going to be open. But we saw how quickly Oliveira was to plug up that wall with those depots, and also to be very active with those Hellions as well. Like, Dark had some very unfortunate engagements with those Hellions as he tried to get those surrounds. Oliveira, his defense, is just too good. Just too damn good. And now, we're going to be getting into game number 2. Getting into game number 2, and oh boy, the series already kicking off. With some spice, with some fire, and we'll see if that continues here with this player in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the South Korean Zerg representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran, the world champion himself, the teammate, also representing CranKy Gaming. It is Oliveira. No predictions. I apologize. Usually we try to have predictions for the finals. As we do have a pool first opener. But usually we try to have predictions for the finals. But alas, I wasn't able to get them up in time. I do apologize. You know, it's sometimes a little bit harder when I'm stuck here solo casting. I don't have someone else that can kind of fill a little bit of time while I'm busy with things like production and predictions. So I do apologize. But you know what? There's nothing stopping you from saying your predictions in the chat. You know. Nothing stopping you. As we do have that pool first opener from Dark, we saw this against Cure, and we'll see if Oliveira can scout and respond in time. Ideally, this is designed to punish players that don't go for SCV scouts, and I'm curious to see if Oliveira is going to go for one this game. For the time being, it looks like he will not. Oh, no, sorry, he will. There we go. Is going for that rack scout here with this SCV. Is going to be rushing across the map, and there are going to be multiple facets to this rush, because this SCV is going to confirm the pool first, but the Lings that are coming out are designed to deny the SCV scout and to get a kill, and to make sure that the Roach Warren is hidden. Oh boy, so here we go. The two Lings are going to reveal themselves. Oliveira's aware of the pool timing immediately. Oh, he's trying to juke out the Lings. He's trying to get on into the main base. He does pull back again just to get a little bit more vision, just to confirm. He doesn't know how committed this is going to be, though. He doesn't know about that tech, and Oliveira is going to be staying at home with his Reaper. He gambles a little bit, and unfortunately, this is not what we want to be seeing. So the Reaper is staying at home because there could be 6 Lings. There could be Lings coming across the map to delay the CC. Little does he know that there are only 2 Lings, and that this Reaper would be better if it had gone across the map to scout the roaches as they came out, and to scout that Roach Warren as well. Ooh, and Oliveira is going for a 3cc opener as well, so this is kind of best case scenario for Dark. The Reaper is finally going across the map, and it will finally get eyes on these roaches. Oof. There we go, a couple of hits already on this Reaper. We have confirmation. We have a bunker on the high ground. Oliveira is going to be abandoning his natural. He will be lifting this up once an orbital is morphed in, and Oliveira is going to be looking to try and defend here on the high ground. Cyclone is going to be on the way to deny high ground vision. Now, we saw how Cure demolished this opener because Cure went for a 1-1-1, and the reason for that is that when his starport finished, he made a medevac, and he was able to counterattack immediately and punish Dark for his build. Unfortunately, we don't really see that here because of the 3cc opener. That means that Oliveira won't have as much counterattack potential. Ooh. Meanwhile, we do have a depot going down. Dark is taking control of the low ground. Ooh, he's going to be able to take down an SCV as well. We do have a nice lock-on, but the lock-on is broken. The Overlord is still alive as well. Oh, yeah, not the best lock-ons here for Oliveira, but with his army, he's going to be able to force this back and clean this up, and he will be able to regain control of his natural. Ooh, can he get the Cyclone? Up. Ooh. The Cyclone barely does survive, but Dark is going for a follow-up Ling Flood from here. He knows about the lack of starport. He knows how economic Oliveira was trying to be and how vulnerable he is right now. Dark is going to be sending everything across the map. There is no wall. The bunker has been salvaged, and this may just be it. Oh, this is so unfortunate. Oliveira, he's moving out with his Cyclones. They're going to be so exposed. No! The Lings are keeping themselves hidden. 2-1. Ling speed kicks in, and now Dark is going to be sending everything across the map. One Cyclone already gets surrounded. The second Cyclone is in danger here in the middle of the map, and the Lings have made their way across as well, once again taking control of the natural. SCVs are falling. This Cyclone is not long for this world. Oof. And again, a great way for Dark to just keep Oliveira on one base economy. Behind this, we do see droning. We do see a third base. Dark is going to be calming down from this point, just taking an early lead and capitalizing on it. Oh, here we go. From here, Oliveira is going to attempt to stabilize. No, the friendly fire. There we go. We do have a nice unsiege on that tank. If we didn't see an unsiege there, then we would have seen a lot of SCVs go down. So very nicely handled by Oliveira. Behind this, he is, getting into a pretty interesting 3-rack setup. Oh, I was not expecting this. So off of the 3cc opener, delaying his starport even more, he's going to be amassing a large amount of Marines. It's going to take a while for the medevacs to come out. It's going to take a while for Oliveira to be active. So I do worry that because of how much he's been slowed down, I worry that he's even going to be able to do anything with his push when it does come to fruition. Oh. Okay. I was going to be like, it's going to be interesting if Oliveira moves out now, but no. He's going to just calm down. He's going to siege up, chill out here outside or at his natural. Meanwhile, Dark double expanding, or he's taking his fourth. He's getting a macro hatchery, working on his upgrades. Momentarily, we should be seeing a lair as well, so we can get into our lair tech upgrades, whether it's baling speed or roach speed. And there we go. There is our baling nest. And Dark also gets eyes on this third. Doesn't just get eyes on it, gets under it as well. Just to be that much more annoying and just to slow down Oliveira. Oliveira, he just wants to play some StarCraft. But Dark doing whatever he can to slow him down. Oh. And yeah, from here, things are going to be settling down. The first sign of aggression should be now that Oliveira has his 2 medevacs. We'll see if he commits to a push, which would be a risky thing to do. No, he won't. He'll keep his tanks at home, and he's just going to be going for a double drop across the map. With this, he can maybe... I don't think he's going to be able to kill this fourth, but, you know, pick off some overlords, deny some of this creep, maybe get some drones, as drones are being transferred over towards his fourth. Here we go, the means to reveal themselves. Overlord is going to get sniped, and oh, a lot of DPS already being dealt here to this hatchery. It will make it vulnerable for a follow-up timing, as the drop is denied. It's forced to be picked up. Hatchery at around half HP. Until that point, though, Oliveira is for the most part going to be stuck at home. Like, he be active with his drops, so get us wrong, and he is being active with them, as active as possible. But really, we're kind of looking and waiting for a moment where he can maybe get into a mineral line, maybe get, again, unlikely for him to get a hatchery, but, you know, get some drones. So, clear up some creep, keep Dark busy while he's macroing up back at home. Speaking of, though, Oliveira wants none of that, as he's going to be unsieging and pushing out across the map. His third base is going to be quite vulnerable to a link counterattack, as Oliveira does reveal himself here on creep. Speaking of, Dark is going for that counterattack. Ay. Not much here at home to defend. Oh, this is going to be forcing Oliveira all in, and as he's forced to evacuate his third base. The one's on the wall! No, the Lings flood on in. They're going to be able to get on top of this tank, and now Oliveira has to end the game with this army. Tank goes down. SCVs are going down as well. Ooh. Dark so quick to punish this push. The push is doing damage. Oliveira has a decent amount of army supply here. Like, this is a scary army, don't get me wrong. The problem is that Oliveira, sure, he gets a third, but Dark has so much time to rebuild, morph in more Lings, more Banelings, bring his queens over, and even bring back the army. Now Dark, he's looking to maybe get ready for a surround coming in from multiple angles. Well, the Bailey nest is under threat, but yeah, here we go. Dark setting up behind the army of Oliveira, maybe waiting for an unsiege. Trying to catch some reinforcements. To see another scan, Oliveira gets eyes on some of these fresh mining bases. There's the unsiege. Oh, but Dark is more concerned with actually busting the natural. He doesn't care about the army. Oh my god. Bailey's gonna roll on in. The wall is no longer a wall. The Lings flood in as well. And every SCV is going to be going down. If Oliveira wasn't all in before, he is all in now. He stims on forward. He's going to be able to take a good fight here, killing these queens. God, but transfuses by so much time. Drop on the right-hand side is going to be able to deny the fourth base. Oliveira is going to be dealing some damage, but it's going to do more than this. The drones are fighting? Oh my god. Something you don't see too often at all. As Oliveira is down to 1 SCV, everything else is on fire. He's lifting his buildings? Oliveira. Oh my god. GG gets called, and Dark ties up the series 1-1. GG. Very nicely handled there by Dark. Unfortunately, Oliveira punished a little bit there for his opener, for his greedy I say greedy, it's not really greedy, but just an economic opener overall. Oh, Dark, relentless, doesn't let up. Now we're getting into game number 3. Let's go, papi, let's go. And here in Game 3, we're going to be finding out who is going to take a lead in this series, who's going to have the momentum overall. Oh. Dark, so far, has just been the aggressor the entire series. Game 1 and Game 2, in different ways. You know, Game 1, we saw a Lin Queen Knight us all in. Game 2, we saw a pull first into a Roach Rush. What haven't we seen yet? Or are we going to return to normalcy and just kind of slow things down? That is the question. And here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have, making a drone, love to see it, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. Tying up the series in that last game, it is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Terran player, the world champion himself, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Oliveira. Here we go. This time, no pool first coming out from Dark. Hatch gas pool. You love to see it. We're gonna be calming down a little bit here as we get into Game 3. Ooh. But only the openers are gonna be calm, as again, we do know that Dark at any moment can just turn up the aggression, go for a fast lair, go for a fast Roach Warren. He can do anything, Baku. Oh. So we are getting into our hatch gas pool setup. Oh, you love to see it. And yeah, I'm curious as to how Oliveira is going to adjust here, especially because Dark has been oh so aggressive. He may be kind of prone to going for a 1-1-1 opener instead, you know, not necessarily going for that fast, going for that third CC before starport. It would make sense, and I imagine it's what Dark wants Oliveira to do. So there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of mind games coming into at least Oliveira's build. We'll see. We'll see how he kind of approaches this. As he isn't typically, you know, one to go all in. I don't know if Oliveira's really... I don't expect to see, like, a Hellbat push at some point this series. I don't expect to see a BC opener, for example. It's definitely possible, and it's well within the skill range of Oliveira to do that. But again, it's something that he's not necessarily prone to do. As the first Reaper is making its way across the map and is going to be here. Oh my god. Is going to be able to delay the third a little bit here, but only a little bit. Stark is able to throw it down. Instead, Oliveira is a little bit more concerned with dealing some economic damage. Just make sure that there are indeed drones here at the natural, dancing with the lings. Oh. As interesting. Dark, he's usually one to overmake lings. He usually makes 6 lings to defend against the Reaper, but this game he only made 2, so Dark actually just being pretty greedy overall. Much more greedy than usual, so yeah, he's going to be able to squeeze out a couple of extra drones. Doesn't lose any lings yet either. Yeah, interesting decision making here from Dark. He also went for the inject, a double inject even as well. I imagine because he only has 2 lings, he's kind of holding off on going for his tumor instead, just waiting for a second queen, just adjusting to his overall build. Interesting. An interesting way. Like, I'm fascinated because I'm a Zerg player. I know it's not the most, you know, intriguing thing, but yeah, just like these small little adjustments from Dark. As he's going to be throwing down a very early Roach Warren behind this. Oliveira did go for a 3cc before starport, by the way. 3cc is about to finish up, and he is opening up with Cloak Banshees, or at least Banshees. We'll see if he does invest into that Cloak. So very standard, very economic, relatively safe as well to not skip out on that Banshee. And we'll see if Oliveira can slip into the main base. He still has that Reaper. Again, there aren't really any lings to keep up with the Reaper if it did try to go into the main base. But for the time being, Oliveira's in the dark. Dark is not. Oh. As the Roach Warren has finished up. Again, that was like around a 3-minute 30 Roach Warren, by the way. So very early. There we go. 8 Roaches are in production. Oliveira is none the wiser. He will have a Banshee to defend. But other than that Banshee, we're really only going to be working with Hellions. Oh, here we go. Roaches are on the way. Lair on time as well behind this. And unfortunately, the Hellions are here on the left-hand side. They're not going to spot the army as it moves out, so still no scouting. Oh boy. But as the Hellions do rotate on over, we should be getting some eyes on this, as the Hellions are consolidating in the middle of the map, and they will be running into these roaches. Oh my... How? No, they still avoid each other. And we can end up in a really weird place where the roaches reveal themselves. Maybe the Hellions can just dive on in as well, but the Queens are going to be stopping them. The roaches are across the map. There is one Banshee, but only one Banshee. Sorry, we have two Banshees, but these SCVs are not long for this world. Oh boy. Wall was not a wall. Oliveira should be able to, yeah, he does end up lifting that depot in the end, but 10 SCVs go down and the Hellions don't do anything across the map. Oh. Oh. Yeah, the Queen movement is just a little bit too good. The roaches get cleaned up, but honestly, I feel like that was kind of worth it here. 10 SCVs, I think it could have been maybe a little bit more, but Dark was, of course, busy back at home dealing with all those Hellions. Dark taking a pretty big economic lead here, doubling down on the roaches, as now we see roach speed and link speed on the way, as of course we did delay or skip link speed to get into that faster roach warren. Oh. And yeah, now there's just so much onus on these Banshees to get damage done. Oh, they do get 5 drones, which is honestly more than I expected. Like, this is already pretty good here for Oliveira. He keeps both Banshees alive. He still has potential for more damage. This is the start. Definitely the start of a comeback. As we even have a... Oh my god, that's a gigafast infestation pit from Dark. A pre-7-minute infestation pit here. I'm curious what it's for. I think he just wants to rush into Hive again. He kind of did this against Cure. We'll see if he does it again. Before that happens, again, we are focusing on melee upgrades, as we are, you know, roaches are kind of a stepping stone here to get into a more Link Bane heavy composition. Double job moving in on the right hand side. I'm gonna at least be able to pick off some of these roaches, and I was curious if it was gonna be for a hive. It is for a hive, but also for pathogen glands as well. So infestors are gonna be making their debut here in this series. Hup. Aye, aye. And Dark, it feels like he's just gotten away with so much. At this point, he is droned up to 80. We have our 5th base on the way. Oliveira's being active with his medevac, sure, but you haven't really been able to find an opening even. Behind this, of course, we can't, you know, can't stress enough that Oliveira, you know, his macro is quite solid and his tank count is slowly getting higher, still being active here with his Marines. As long as he doesn't lose too much here, like, this is still fine. What I'm concerned about is what happened with Cure, where Cure didn't really know that, like, spellcasters had hit the field, and because of that, he wasn't, like, ready for Blinding Clouds. He wasn't ready for what was, you know, coming his way with that big fight. And I worry that the same may be true here for Oliveira, as, oh, the first Infestor is going to reveal itself. We do have a fungal. There's not too much of a follow-up, as most of the Marines are going to be able to survive, but now Oliveira is fully aware. Oh, and he's just pushing. He doesn't even care about me. Let's go. We're moving out. We have 4 tanks. We have a decent bio army as well. Oliveira's economy may not be anywhere near as powerful, but you know what? We have an 8-rack setup. Oliveira hoping that Dark was a little bit more greedy. There is a 4cc behind this, don't get us wrong. It is on location. But again, Oliveira committing a lot here to this push. Where are the fungals? Oof. We do have one fungal in the chamber. This hatchery on the high ground is taking a lot of hits. But I don't know if we have enough fire to protect these tanks. Dark just dancing here with the Bio Army, waiting for his Lings to pop out. We have 32 Lings in production. Before the Lings pop out, the third hatchery is going to fall. Not just the third, but maybe even the fifth. But here we go. Now that the Lings are out, Dark is going to be pulling the trigger. Ooh, just engages with the Bio. Doesn't go in the tanks yet. Oh, as this position is getting even more fortified, Dark trying to set up a wraparound. Oh, but this push may just be a little bit too much. Oh no, the Infestor! And Infestor is going to be going down. Dark maybe being a little bit too fancy with his tech, but here we go. The Vipers are coming in for some Blinding Clouds, and Dark is coming from behind. Ooh, every single tank gets Blinding Clouded. Lings catch the reinforcements. They get actually a little bit distracted by the reinforcements. Ooh, the execution of this attack wasn't quite there for Dark, but he still cleans it up. Oh, he did lose 2 hatcheries though. And that is going to be hurting his production overall. He can't remake anywhere near as much. He's going to be triple expanding. Oh. But after losing all those tanks, Oliveira is forced to back off. He did do a lot of damage though. Like this game, like for the most part, Oliveira has recovered. He's getting his 4th base on location. His economy is on par, if not better than Dark's. We have a cancel here towards the south. Ooh. Dark again. Maybe punished for taking up the way that he did. The Blinding Clouds were solid, sure. I don't know if the Infestors were quite necessary. As Dark is trying desperately here to keep up. Lands another Fungal. It's going to be able to kill quite a number of Marauders as a result. But Dark is on the back foot right now. He's desperately trying to get both of these hatcheries up and running. Maybe even a third if possible. He's stuck here defending, and Oliveira has as much freedom as possible to take another base. You know, we have a 5th on the way. He's going to be able to re-siege this location. Oh, Dark trying to engage. Does land a pretty good Fungal, but no follow-up. Ay, ay, ay. And with this location, Oliveira sieging upon 2 bases at once. Dark trying to set up another surround. But I don't think he has the supply for it. I don't think he has enough, Poppy. The Vipers. We have enough of Blinding Clouds. We're catching some reinforcements. Oh, instead, we're going for the Power Bomber. Yo, Oliveira's so quick to split off that medevac. Another hatchery is going to be going down. And that's all that Oliveira has to do. He doesn't have to push himself up that ramp. He doesn't have to try and break the natural of the third. Up, up, up. Oof. Meanwhile, we have a Ling run by, but look at the Sim City here. The Lings are not doing much at all. The reinforcements are more than enough to clean this up. Dark throwing away all of his Lings. And Oliveira, Papi, he's just happy to unsiege and back off. Like, without any of those Lings, Dark, he can't really chase this. He's gonna try to. Dark has to be careful not to overextend. Here come the reinforcements. Hey, hey, hey. Dark, calm down, Papi. Calm down. He's gonna back off, but Dark, his economy is not where it needs to be. His hatcheries, his creep. Oof. He is hurting right now. And Oliveira is probably feeling pretty good about this scan. He sees the 4th, and he sees how undersaturated it is as well. Now, there is still a world where Dark can bring this all back, just because he has a lot of Infestors. If, like, there's a world where maybe he lands, like, the best Fungal possible, connects with his Biles, connects with the Banelings. Oof. We have another cancel. Dark trying to catch his army, and Oliveira's kind of leaving this idle. Oh my god. Oof. Losing quite a lot there. He was a little bit distracted by his own drops. Trying to pull apart Dark. He's going to be able to get a couple of queens. Not too bad. Oh, the Infestors! No! Oh, one Infestor, high energy Infestor goes down. Oof. Dark slipping up with his control a little bit. And these are mistakes that we can't afford right now, just because Dark is still limping along economically. He now has some decent mining going on, but it hasn't been mining for that long. And here we go, Oliveira just rallying everything across the map, re-sieging, now with Widow Mines. Oh, and Dark forced to come in from one singular angle. It's exactly what Oliveira wants. The Lingbane gets evaporated. We have a couple more Railings behind this army. We have the Infestors as well to fungal. Oh, good fungals, don't get us wrong, but the tank line, the Infestor. Trades are just too good. Everything can change though, now that we have Vipers coming into the fray. Blinding Clouds are going to be king here. They're going to be key to break this contain. As Oliveira's taking a 6th. Jesus. And I love this. Oliveira, he sees the Vipers and he's like, nope. He's like, mate, I know how this ends. I saw Cure versus Dark. I'm just going to get the hell out of here. Ooh. Like, the damage has been done. The creep has been receded. There's no reason for Oliveira to stick around any longer. He took his trades. He's happy to back off. Dark trying to stabilize here. Back up to 82 workers. His upgrades are lacking. I will say that. We still don't have +3. We don't have adrenal glands either. Oof. Yeah, we just couldn't really afford those upgrades earlier. Here we go, Dark setting up a massive counterattack. These bases are a little bit undefended. There are planetaries, but the planetaries are on their own. Here we go, the Lingbane is rolling on forward. Dark looking to just delete this base. And he should be able to. The Banelings are rolling on in. And there's not much here at all. The CC is going to go down. Dark finally dealing some counter damage. Meanwhile, at the same time, so is Oliveira. Oh god, here we go. The fungals are kind of landing. Not too much of a follow-up. Do see 9 drones going down here towards the south. Yo, we're looking for the EMPs. Oh, 1 EMP grazes some of those infestors. Still got 3 more with energy. Dark getting ready for a surround coming in from behind. Oh, but look at the tank spread. Look at this tank line. Oh my god. It's crazy. Lings are coming in from behind it. Here we go. Dark is pulling the trigger. Oh my god, but the tanks are standing strong. The Lings that came in from behind all just got evaporated. Same with the Lings from the front. But Oliveira is running out of steam. Despite the fact that he's got a lot of he's got a lot of tanks and he's got a lot of Widow Mines, he doesn't have much else here to really protect his tanks from Lings. We need more Marines. We need a buffer. Okay, the hatchery is going to go down. We do have a minefield, I guess. And the minefield is going to help. We have like a basically just tank ghost. Tank mine ghost. Marines are rallying across the map. The ghosts moving on forward. Ambitious move. Oh, these ghosts are so exposed. He's once again wrapping around. Oh! Looking for those EMPs. Lings are going to be able to hit this 3rd base, and they're going to be able to catch some of these reinforcements. Not too bad. Oh, meanwhile, at the same time, another run by here at the 6th base of Oliveira. We do have a fungal, and it connects. Oh my god, we also get the EMPs as well. The Biles are going to be connecting. The ghosts go down. Only 3 survive. Very expensive loss for Oliveira. Oof. Meanwhile, the counterattack across the map does end up killing this CC. It does burn down. And we were never able to reinforce. Lings are trickling on in. Tanks are going down. These are losses that Oliveira cannot afford, as he lost that mineral line again, or at least part of it. And here we go. Oliveira, he just stuck around a little bit too long. The tanks are going down. He is running out of steam. And Dark, he hasn't had the best mining himself, to be fair, but it's yeah. it's getting really scrappy. I think the biggest advantage that Dark has is his infestors. Like, he's been able to keep his spellcasters alive, and we can't say the same about the ghosts. Look at the units tab. We have 2 ghosts. These 2 ghosts are the only ghosts in the game right now. We have a couple more in production, but yeah, Oliveira, that one fungal that we saw earlier was really the move that Dark needed. And here we go. The infestors are coming in from every angle. Oh my god. The fungals from all over the place. Dark, he swallows up the army. He has the momentum. He has broken free and broken through. And Oliveira just doesn't have much left to his name. He's got a ghost. He's got 2 ghosts. Got some marines. Got some men with gun. Oh god. But what a game it was. Dark, it felt like, was taking a beating early on in the first half. But he got the trades that he needed. He got the fungals that he needed. And now he's going to be able to break into the natural base. Oh god, there's just not much left to speak of. The Banelings roll on forward. The ghosts are doing what they can here. They're getting a couple of good snipes off. The tank survives. Dark has to be careful not to throw away too much. Like, Dark doesn't have a bank. Dark is just, yeah. He's gonna calm down and just make sure he's a little bit more efficient here. Like, we are equal in the worker count. Dark does have a lead in army supply, but again, if he takes too bad of a fight and too bad of a trade, Oliveira can turn this around. I feel like it's very dependent on Dark overextending though. Here we go. Infestors sharking on in. Yo, if Oliveira scans. Oh, he doesn't quite see it. Dark threatening the bases. One of the borrowed infestors does get spotted. Oh god. I'm waiting for the unborrow, Poppy. I'm waiting for the unborrow. Lings runs again, going for a counterattack. Uh-oh. Oof. Oof. A lot of Lings going down though. Again, not the best run by for Dark. There weren't a lot of SCVs here to kill at all either. And this is what I mean. Dark has to be careful. Like, he doesn't have a mineral bank. Look, he's down to 30 minerals. Like, he just can't really replace what he's losing. And Oliveira, he's been able to resaturate his bases. He's back in this. Things were looking dire when he was holding on to his main. But, oh my god, here we go. A fungal connecting with the buy, but not with the ghosts. Oliveira pushing on forward. He can still do this. Infestor's coming in from behind. He wants the fungal. Up. And he gets it. A massive fungal on top of every single one of those ghosts. A Ling spot on it as well. Oliveira trying to save what he can. Oh. The ghosts are evacuated. Do we have detection? We do. Oh my god, but we are running out of Lings. The positioning just too good here for Oliveira. Infestors are going to be able to barely waddle away. But Dark, oh, I don't blame him. That was a really good fungal. That was a really good fight. It seemed to be a good fight. As he's going in once again. But the pickups, the hot pickups, they're too good. They're too hot, Papi. They're too hot. Dark, he's losing his momentum. It's slipping away, Papi. It's slipping away. He's down to 1 infestor. That's all he's got. Ooh. Oh my god, the Widowmite was insane. Hot pickup once again, and Dark, he's losing his army. He doesn't have enough energy for a fungal. He needs to wait a little bit longer. We have enough breathing room to go for a double drop across the map. Dark can't defend this. He doesn't have the supply. He cannot defend his fringe bases. Oh, we saw a snipe. And there it is. This base towards the south is going to be going down. The entire army of Dark has to respond. Oof. The hatchery goes down. This is going to give an opening to Oliveira, and there we go. He's going for it. He realizes that Dark is out of position. Widowmite shots are going to be going off. No! Oh. These run-bys are just not worth it. The tanks are in position. The Widowmites as well. The Lings are all going down. Meanwhile, towards the north, the hatchery falls. GG gets called. Oliveira has done it. He takes game 3. He takes a lead in this series. Oh my god. Ah. GG. Oh my god, that was such a scrappy game. That was so back and forth. I'm looking at the army supply graph. There's a moment where Oliveira lost everything, and the moment that I'm speaking of is when his tanks in the middle of the map got cleaned up. It was like 7 or 8 tanks. 7 or 8 tanks got cleaned up. There was a moment there where Dark had double the army supply of Oliveira. And that's when Dark, he just kept pushing, and when he tried to break the natural, and when he tried to get into the main base, like, he just kept on going. And I don't blame him. I don't think that was the wrong move. I think there was blood in the water, and I think he wanted to straight up end the game, and he could have. But Oliveira's positioning, his ghosts, his tanks, the way that he was able to barely hold on to his main, barely. Oh my god. Wow. GG. Oliveira just refuses to die. Oh. Oh. Wow. I'm seeing chat catch up. And now we are getting into our next game. Oliveira is 1 game away from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup champion. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming up against the wall. 1 more loss, and that's it. The series will be over. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player, the world champion, and he is a world champion. He is the world champion for a reason. 1 game away from also becoming this week's ESL champion. It is Oliveira. Oh, oh my god. Oh, that was crazy, Papi. That was crazy. So back and forth, so scrappy as well. There was a moment where both players went down to 60 workers. Ugh. And there we go, Oliveira. He's 1 game away, mate. Uno mas, papi. Uno mas is all he needs. Ugh. God. Dark, the pressure is on him. Oliveira has a little bit of freedom again. If he does lose this game, he does have another to fall back on. But, of course, we're at a stage where I'm sure both of these players are very experienced. They've been in this situation many times. Dark, unfazed, I'm sure. Probably chuckling to himself, even. As we're getting into this, Hatch Gas pool opener here from Dark. Important to point out because he has been going for some pool first openers the entire day. So something a little bit more standard. Oliveira going across the map with an SCV scout. I'm sure going to be breathing easy once he does recognize it is a hatch first. And yeah, we'll see kind of where this all goes. You know, we are on Royal Blood. I do think that, you know, maps like Gresvan, we saw how abusable there are certain positions can be, especially in that center location, because those tanks can lay siege upon the 3rd and the would-be 4th or even 5th base. And Dark was having a really hard time when Oliveira was able to kind of position himself and solidify himself there in the middle of the map. Royal Blood isn't quite like that. There is another kind of location here where tanks can kind of push towards the linear 3rd and also lay siege upon the high ground base here. But Dark, he isn't kind of forced to expand in that pattern. We do see the triangular 3rd instead, and yeah, we can kind of approach this a little bit differently. Yeah, the layout's similar, but not as intense as Gresvan. And that's why, honestly, Gresvan kind of leads to really, really good games. Oh, God, like Gresvan just gets so intense and so chaotic so often. We've had so many amazing games on that map, last game included. Oh, but now we are going to be calming down a little bit here. Another 3cc before starport opener, very economic, very standard from Oliveira. Nothing too crazy. Meanwhile, what's important to take note of is that Dark did get link speed and he has pulled out of gas. So unlike some of the previous games, we don't see an early roach warrant. Bearing in mind, it was like 20 minutes ago, but Dark did open up with a Roach Rush in the previous game, where he was able to take control of the natural and get so much economic damage done. I think it was 11 SCVs, as well as no mining at the natural, containing Oliveira to one base. So this time, again, Dark is calming down. A lot more standard, a lot more safe play here from Dark. No. As we aren't going to be getting any kind of early lair or early Roach Warren. Instead, we're just droning here and just solidifying our position here on these 3 bases. Across the map, Oliveira, 3cc Banshee. You know, you love to see it, love to see it. Cloak on the way. No, nothing to write home about, and yeah, I think both players can kind of take this moment to recover themselves as well, just in case anyone is a little bit jittery from that last game. We can take some breaths. We can recalibrate, recover, all that good stuff. As we are getting into this 3-rack setup, as is the typical setup following this. Overlord dips in, and Dark is going to be able to confirm the opener, does spot the 3rd CC, does see the Tech Lab researching as well, so he knows to prepare himself for these Banshees, and as I say that, spores are on the way here at the 3rd and the main. Dark being a little bit greedy, and his natural is a little bit more exposed, but again, just cutting some corners here where he can. Just covering his bases overall. And I'm happy to see, as this Overlord is going to get sniped, I'm happy to see no Roach Warren, period. Like, even in more, like, standard games, Dark is prone to throw down a Roach Warren and go for a more Roach-heavy composition to begin with. But here it's just straight-up Ling Bane. Beautiful, puppy, beautiful. We do see our 4th and 5th gas being taken here by Dark as well, as he's taking his Evo chamber so we can get into 1-1, get into his lair, get into Baneling speed as well behind this. I'm curious if he's just going to go pure Ling Bane. That's kind of what it looks like. This looks very similar to the game that we saw on Neo Humanity against Cure. Oh, as the Banshees are finding their way to the main base, they get 1 drone, but only a drone. They're able to get out of there and look to fight another day. But yeah, this is looking very similar to the Neo Humanity game, where Dark went pure Ling Bane, goes up to 5-6 bases, it goes straight into a hive as well, and then afterwards it goes into ultras. It's a style where the weakness of it is that you don't really have too much air control. We don't have a Hydroden, we don't have a Spire, we don't have anything that shoots up, so drop play can pull apart the Zerg player. But if your map awareness is good enough, because you have so much Ling Bane, you can keep up with the drops anyway, and even though you can't kill the medevacs, you can just deny any kind of harassment and deny any damage. It'd be a very micro or very intense way to play. As we have confirmation, there's the Infestation Pit. There's 2 macro hatches as well. So Dark is playing that pure Ling Bane style. Ugh. And correctly, Oliveira is not investing too heavily into tanks. We do see Widowmines coming out from him instead, which can do quite well against this. Oh, Dark trying to bait out that first mine. Ooh, nice target firing there from Oliveira. Oh, the friendly fire! Oh, but the unburrow as well. Oh. In the end, Oliveira trading quite nicely here against Dark. Avoiding the friendly fire and getting a very nice Widowmine shot off. Hellions joining the fray, and here we go. Oliveira wants to keep on pushing, wants to break this location. We don't have that many Banelings remaining. The Widowmines, oh my god, the Widowmine survives, and Oliveira, he has the momentum going his way. Banelings, are gonna connect though. Oliveira, a little bit of a lapse in judgment. And with those Banelings connecting, Dark is gonna hold. Oliveira being forced back. We do have 3 more racks behind this, so we do have an 8-rack setup here from Oliveira. But we do have our gases being taken, and there is our 4th CC, so not too committed, not too aggressive here, not all in by any means. But yeah, Oliveira was able to take some decent trades, to begin with at least. Not towards the end of that engagement. And Dark was able to hold on here long enough to get this hive. The hive is on the way, 1-1 as well. We should be getting into adrenal glands momentarily, and we'll see if we get a couple of Vipers as well. This is a style where for a long time, again, very limited anti-air, but Vipers with parasitic bombs can do quite well against these medevacs. We'll see what Dark prioritizes. We'll see what he feels is necessary to get out first. And there we go. There is that Ultra Cavern and Adrenal Glands. So Ling Bane into Ultra. You love to see it. I do. Meanwhile, we do have a double drop here on the right-hand side. Again, you know, pulling apart Dark a little bit. Oh my god! Oh, the medevac barely is able to escape. Oh, just barely. This time, Oliveira is hyper-focused on his drop play. Oh my god, even goes for a Widowmine drop in towards the third base. 13 workers go down. That's a cancel on the fifth as well. Oliveira all over the place. Oh. He is being pushed back, but 13 drones going down is well worth it here for Oliveira. Dark, he wants to go for a counterattack though. He sends everything across the map to the third base. A third that is looking very exposed, by the way. Oliveira's army, for the most part, is on the map, and he's going to be losing his mineral line. Oh no. Oh, the base is going to be going down. Oliveira wasn't looking at his force in the middle of the map. Banelings do connect, and it looks like Dark has done it. Oliveira, in a way, has pulled himself apart. Oof. The drops are looking good, but it's so attention heavy. If at one moment you're not looking, then disaster can strike. Oliveira loses the mineral line. He loses his drops. He's trying to focus on the Ultra Cavern, and he will not get it. The transfuse barely keeping it alive. Oof. And yeah, maybe Oliveira just getting a little bit too cavalier here. Widowmine shots are going to be going off. Decent Widowmine shots, sure. We do have some reinforcements. Oh my god, coming in as well. With that second Widowmine shot, Oliveira, he can hold. Oh, oh my god. Dark just taking two massive mines to the face. And now there are no Banelings remaining. These Banelings are going to be denied. Oliveira's pushing forward. He's going to get the base. Suddenly, the pendulum swings in his favor. His economy is still in the gutter, but he's trading so well. But here we go. The Ultras do reveal themselves. Oh my god, it would have been huge if Oliveira was able to snipe that Ultra Cavern. This game would have been entirely different. He probably would have been able to keep on pushing and get some more drone kills, but the Ultras force him back. Shout out to the thin and skinny Brood War Ultras. Shaking my head. Oh my god. Infestation Pit, Pathogen Glands is on the way. Ling Bane Ultra Infestor is going to be the composition of choice here for Dark. But Oliveira, he's still in this. He's still fighting his heart out. Going for a double drop here on the left-hand side. He can't really do too much here against the Ultra army, but he doesn't really want to. He wants to keep the Ultras preoccupied. He wants to keep them busy as we have a bit of a pincer maneuver being set up here. These fresh bases of Dark are not going to finish. Another drop on the right-hand side as well, catching some queens, catching some workers, catching some drones. And Oliveira's Dark's had enough. He's like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with all these drops, with all these medevacs. I'm just going across the map instead. Honestly, wise choice. Oh my god, as these drops are getting out of hand, Ultras keep on pushing forward, but we have Liberators to defend. Dark, he just can't keep up. But you know what? He's going to get a mineral line. He's getting another base at third base once again. The Ultra Cavern is still weakened from earlier, and finally it's going to be going down. Meanwhile, Banelings do connect as well on the right-hand side. Oliveira's drops are being cleaned up. But he did lose his mineral line. He lost 20 SCVs. Oof. Again, Dark being abused because of his lack of anti-air. There's no way for him to shut down these medevacs, and Oliveira is just abusing that as much as possible. He still can't really go toe-to-toe with these Ultras, but look at this hatchery. Like, if Oliveira goes for some more drop play, he can snipe some bases. Ooh, he goes for a scan. He does confirm the army's location. He wants to keep pushing, though. He has libs, and there's no answer to the Liberators. Bear that in mind. Once they do siege up, they're going to be staying there. Dark going for another counterattack. Once again, nothing much at home here at the third. As Dark is going to be running into a brick wall across the map. Meanwhile, the Ultras are going to get picked off. Maybe I spoke too soon. They do tank some of those Widowmine shots. How good is the target firing? One Ultra did go down, but the other two are going to survive. Oof. One survives. And now that the infestors are out, we have the fungals. Once again, Oliveira losing that third. His drops have been cleaned up. Finally, Dark can push him back. He can actually mine from his bases. God, it was so close. Dark has to be careful. He's running into a minefield. Ugh. We've seen Dark eat a lot of mines to the face before. Don't do it again, Papi. Not again. Liberators were cleaned up earlier due to these spores and queens. Oliveira, his economy, it's almost non-existent, I'll be honest. He's down to 33 SCVs, trying desperately to make more workers. But Dark, his economy is good enough. He can sustain himself. He's gonna be able to just get a large enough army, and I think the only way that Oliveira can really win this is if he does go for some more drop play, maybe pick off some of these production buildings, and also get some really good winter mine shots. It's happened before. Can you do it again? That is the question. Oh no! Oh no! Ooh, already a good mine shot going off there. We're gonna need a couple more of those. As we see a drop into the main base, we see a push here on the right-hand side as well. Meanwhile, Dark just goes for another counterattack and he's gonna be hitting the planetary. Yeah, there's no way for the planetary to survive this. It is gonna be going down. Meanwhile, hatcheries are falling left and right. Oh, the fungals! Oh, the fungals and the queen are gonna be enough. The drops are getting shut down. Oof. Oliveira fighting his heart out, but there's only so much he can do. Ay, ay. The tenacity that Oliveira has, mate. It's amazing. Oh my god. A sight to behold. Here we go. The main base has been lifted. We are taking it as a fourth. No planetary this time, so these run-bys, these counterattacks are going to be doing that much more. Speaking of, there it is. Things are going in towards the left-hand side. They're going to be taking... Oh, no, they do avoid the window shot this time. Nicely done. Oliveira positioning himself to defend this base. Oh my god, there is a borrowed infestor though. Oh. Up. Nicely done. We do avert disaster here towards the center of the map, and Dark is getting ready for a flanking fungal. He wants it, Bobby. He wants it. Oof. Even though typically pushing up a ramp into this siege location is a difficult thing for a Zerg to do with all these infestors, I mean, we'll see. So things are getting shaved off. Dark looking for his moments. We do have a scan. The infestors have been revealed. Pretty important. Oliveira is now aware to keep an eye out for them. He does get a turret here on the right-hand side. God, that's so many infestors. 12 infestors. Oh, and here we go. Dark is getting ready. He comes in with everything he has. Behind this, he's expanding. He's taking another fresh mining base. Oliveira doesn't want Dark to get away with this. Does scan, does confirm the army. It looks like, yeah, Dark is content with just containing Oliveira here and just taking every other base. Up. Oh, the fungal barely missing. A lot of links getting shaved off once again. Unfortunately, Oliveira is just contained here to the corner of the map. Sure, he wants to go for some drops. Oh! But unfortunately, without Ghost, he can't really do too much here. There's no EMP potential. There's no snipes either. He's stuck with Biomine Lib, which is okay, but you know, there's a reason why Ghosts counter everything, Kappa. As the drop is being cleaned up, 4 Ghosts are on the way. This can change things. It's one of those things where, sure, we have 12 infestors, but some good EMPs do kind of make these infestors useless. We'll see, as we do have some pretty crucial scans here. Oliveira keeping up with the rotation. Dark trying to find a way in. 9 shots being baited out on the right-hand side. Oh, Ling Rumbai is being set up here. Meanwhile, the main army is pushing in as well. Oliveira doesn't have the supply to split up. Dark is max. Oh my god. And it's going to be too much. The Banelings roll on in. The mineral line is going to be going down. Ooh. 23 SCVs. Again, it's just a numbers game at this point. Oliveira had a lot of potential earlier. He was doing so much with his drop play, but alas. Ugh. Didn't work out in the end. Dark was able to barely keep up. And here we go. We have the fungals that we've been waiting for. In comes the Ling Bane. GG gets called, and Dark ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Oh. GG. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 5. Oh, and really, that's the only way this should be. That's the way things should end here. In game 5, in the ace. Oh my god. Game 5 is going to be on Near Humanity. The hell were the vetoes? Ancient Cistern and Altitude. Oh my god, they're crazy. Or did we play on Ancient Cistern? Altitude at least. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Near Humanity. It's where it all ends. It all comes down to this. Oh boy. I'm trying to think here if Dark... Is it time to meme things up? Last time we saw him on Near Humanity, he did open up just like we saw last game. Did go for Ling Bane into Hive into Ultras. Could do it again. Could definitely pull it off. Here you go, just getting the lobby ready here, making sure all the players are ready as well. Oh. And you can hear the beeps. Vámonos. The finals of ESL Open Cup Asia, 168. It all comes down to this. Oh. Ah. I'm catching up in the chat. Miguelito, yo, Vindicta. Welcome, Vindicta, to the stream. Oh. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Crazy game. It was crazy. Oh my god. Things were popping off, papi. They were popping off. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Near Humanity. We have the man himself, the best Zerg player in all of Korea, representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Terran representing the same team, CranKy Z Gaming, the world champion. It is Oliveira. Oh boy. Ay, ay, ay. Oliveira fighting his heart out last game. Again, I'm going to reiterate. If he had sniped that Ultra Cavern, if he had sniped the Ultra Cavern, or if he had barely kept some of his other drops alive as well, we would have had a completely different game. The Ultras wouldn't have come out in time to push Oliveira back and to alleviate all the pressure that he was exerting on Dark. Like, it would have been crazy. It was still crazy, but... Oh my god. He could have pulled it off. Alas, he didn't. Dark was able to persevere, and now we are getting into game 5. Once again, hatch gas pool here from Dark. Oh, not playing around with those pool first shenanigans. Not here. Not in the ace match. Ah. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. And oh my god, I just realized we have a very interesting opener here from Oliveira. He's going for a reactor first. No Marine, no Reaper. Bold move here, by the way, from Oliveira. He doesn't even SCV scout. He's crazy. He's actually crazy. Oh my god. He avoids the SCV scout. He avoids the Reaper scout as well. He doesn't give a damn about what Dark is up to. He's not too concerned. He's only concerned with himself. And this is a gamble that's going to pay off. And I wonder if it's because he knows how Dark plays. If he knows Dark's tendencies, that Dark does typically go for a more standard economic opener on Neo Humanity, so Oliveira feels safe enough to go for this. As a result, he's going to be able to get a decently early Marine count here. He's going to be able to deny some of this scouting information as well. He's going to be able to preserve that gas and be a little bit more efficient overall. It's just, I don't know, man. I feel like it's just so risky. It's so risky to not have your Reaper, not just for the initial scout to see if it's a pull first, but also for the follow-up scout to see if there's a Roach Rush coming. Because it's Dark. It's Dark. The gamble, Papi, the gamble. Oh. The ball's on Oliveira. As he is getting into his 1-1-1. Interesting. So Oliveira going to be looking to be the aggressor here. Going to have a pretty high Marine count overall. I wonder if he's going to be throwing down an armory here. As it's going to be going for a bit of an add-on swap as well. I mean, to be fair, we're not going to be having that many Hellions to speak of, and we do have a third CC behind this as well. So we're going to be going for a pretty interesting medevac drop. As oh, I assumed that we were going to have a reactor swap, but I guess not. Okay. Interesting. No one wants the reactor. As the first medevac is going to be coming out, and Oliveira is going to be able to rush across the map here to deal some damage, to catch Dark off guard with this kind of off-beat and off-meta drop. We do see a 2-1-1 setup overall. There we go. The Marines are going to be rushing across the map. The Hellions are going to be on the ground as well. I'm curious if he's going to move out with the Hellions. Yeah, there we go. Or if he's going to keep them at home defensively. The move out is spotted by Dark. Oh, as Dark is working with a little bit of, you know, not too much information. He wasn't able to get into the main base. The drop is going to be sneaking out across the map, headed towards the main. Right now, nothing quite in position. We do have 7 queens here. Lings are coming out for Dark, and again, these are vanilla Marines, so it looks like Dark should be able to get here in time. This drop shouldn't really do too much. Oh, the Hellions do get into the third, though. The Marines, more than anything, pulling all the queens out of position. Oh god, but it was worth it because Dark, he's going to be able to get us around and clean up these Hellions. At least 2 of them. So Dark loses 5 drones here for 2 Hellions. He's going to be able to... Oh, he does get supply blocked. Oh, this is actually a pretty heavy supply block. 2 Overlords just starting here. Dark not really expecting or anticipating to lose any Overlords to begin with. Here we go. From here, things will be settling down. We have quite a lot of Marines to our name. Stim is going to finish up, and Oliveira can keep that pressure up as well, as he keeps his medevac across the map, not really too concerned with healing it back up. That's just how we do. It's just how Oliveira be. As Dark is going to be having a bit of a different approach this time. He's going to be taking his gases. We do have a Roach Warren and double Evo chamber on the way, so we're not going to be seeing that Ling Bane, that mass Ling Bane style that we've seen against Cure and that we saw in the previous game as well. Dark is going to be reverting to kind of his bread and butter instead. I do think that this is a bit of a safer way to play it out, but oh, he actually doesn't get +1 melee. He's going for +1 range. Uh-oh. He's going to be going for a Roach timing. Before that happens, because there are no Banelings, these Marines are trading very well here. The Queens are being focused down. Not enough energy for another transfuse, but there just isn't enough here to keep on pushing. Oliveira, though, gets 11 drones. Very nice trade here for Oliveira. Upon losing all those workers, I'm curious if Dark intends to hit a timing here with 1-1 or maybe even a 2-2 timing a little bit later on. We'll keep an eye on the drone count to see when Dark does decide to cut workers, if at all. There we go, Roaches are on the way. Marines are dipping on in, looking to find a little bit more damage. Almost get a drone. Up! Have to be careful here against the queens. But yeah, Dark, it looks like 68 is going to be the number that Dark stops at, and he is just amassing nothing but roaches and lings. 1-1 and speed is on the horizon. Before that happens though, we'll see if Oliveira can piece together what's going on and pick apart his opponent. Ooh, as 2 queens go down. Can he get 3? Can he get 4? Can he get 5? Can he get everyone? Oh my god. 6 queens go down at the same time. A double jump going into the main base. Dark is being pulled apart right now. Incorrectly splitting up his army, assuming that his queens would be enough. I'm pretty sure Dark assumed that Oliveira would just pick up and leave. But Oliveira, he's even losing his roaches here on the front lines, and he's forcing Dark to drone. Ay, ay, ay. God. Oliveira trading so well with so little here. And now Oliveira is going to be taking a bit of an economic lead. 1-1 just finished. Dark, it looks like he's still going to commit to his push. Even though he just droned. Even though he's getting supply blocked. Oh, 4 more overlords are on the way. But Dark is pushing. And Oliveira knows. He's getting ready for it. We have 2 bunkers on the way. We have a Widowmine as well. Tanks are getting in position. Oliveira, all of his drops have returned and they've come back home. Oh boy, and here we go. The second bunker is just barely not done. The first one gets biled down immediately. The boys are being pulled. Oliveira, he has to do everything to hold right now. Oh, and he's going to be losing his mineral line. That's okay. That may just be worth it because Dark has overextended. The Ravagers are being focused down one after the other. Another tank barely comes in time. And it looks like Oliveira, can he hold? Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, it's going to be close. Dark, he's trying desperately to break it, but he can't get on top of the tank. Oh my god. He does bile down the tank, but at the cost of every single Ravager, all of his roaches, and Oliveira has a 4th. He gets away with expanding as he defended. It did cost him a lot of workers, but Dark was very committed. As Dark is forced back, 2-2 begins. Again, this was not really the initial plan, but it is a nice transition point as Dark is going to be committing and staying on Roach Ravager. The first push is the scariest though, and because Oliveira has survived, I mean, he's going to have the map control. It's scary, of course. Oliveira doesn't know if Dark is going to continue the all-in or if he's droning right now, so he has to kind of take this seriously and keep his army for the most part at home. He's kind of poking and prodding and dancing with these roaches. Oh, but there we go. It looks like Oliveira has recognized that Dark doesn't have any Ravagers and he doesn't really intend to keep on pushing, so here we go. We have the drops coming back out. Oliveira knows that he is safe to kind of leave his third base exposed. A push isn't coming. Here we go, the drops are being active. Dark doing a great job at just pre-spreading his army. He's got roaches and Ravagers all over the place. And Dark has droned up to 77. And it looks like he's done. We have 5 Overlords on the way. Dark is about to max out on Roach Ravager, and he's going to be hitting here with 2-2. The follow-up timing. Oliveira has to be careful. He pushes forward with his tanks. He still has the high ground, but his defensive position isn't anywhere near as powerful as it once was, and he has to be very careful not to be caught unsieged. Oh boy. Dark just biding his time and making more lings and roaches. 2-2's about to kick in. I don't know if this is the moment that Oliveira should be moving out in. Dark going for a massive counterattack. And Oliveira's got to make a choice. Does he turn around or does he keep on pushing? Does he go all the way? Oh, a couple of biles are going to be connecting. We do see the Roach Ravager busting into the natural base. This hatchery is going to be going down. But again, Dark doesn't really care about this hatchery. He wants to deal damage across the map and he gets the tank. Oliveira's not turning around. He gets one base. He wants another. Ooh. The biles miss. Uh-oh. The biles do end up missing the base. The tanks. Meanwhile, SCVs are falling left and right across the map. Oliveira is being forced all in. And I'm worried that maybe he's taking too much time. The main base has been compromised. The production is being camped. He still has a lot of tanks. Yo, he's getting on top of the Ravagers. Up, up. Ooh, he takes a bile to the face. Ooh, and that may just be it. Everything across the map is on fire. The vials, the tanks are going down. And this army from Oliveira is nowhere near as large as it once was. Oof. Again, he didn't know that Dark was cutting workers. He didn't know that Dark was getting ready for a big push. If he did, I'm sure Oliveira would just stayed at home. He would have just stayed at home. That's all he had to do. But he wanted to push out. He wanted to try to end the game in his own way. Assuming that Dark was droning. I mean, he scanned and he saw another hatchery on the way, you know? He thought Dark was macroing. Alas. That was not meant to be. Oliveira trying to get his production back up and running. Ugh. He's on one base economy. Actually, not even one base economy right now. He's down to 26 SEVs. Ugh. His hold at his third was so damn good, but he didn't know there was going to be a follow-up. He didn't know about it. He didn't know. He's going to be fighting his heart out here, catching whatever he can. But the likelihood of Dark giving Oliveira like breathing room right now is pretty low. I mean, Dark is remaxed. He has been able to remax here on Roach Ravager, on his Lings. Do see a little bit of Liberator harass, which is being a little bit annoying, but I mean, Dark's army supply, he literally has double the army supply of Oliveira. Oof. This is going to be it. Dark just initially dealing with the Liberator across the map. Now that it's been dealt with, he can focus on his push, and he just outpositions his opponent. He gets into the natural. Oliveira, he just can't keep up with this. He doesn't have enough to split between his bases. And if Dark wanted to, he could just go into the main. He could actually just go into the main again, and he will. Oh. Dark getting ready with a 360 surround, and here we go from every single angle. The Lings coming from behind, they get on top of the tanks, and the Biles will deal with the Liberators. The Marines are trying to stutter step as best they can, but there's only so much that they can do. It went all the way, went down to the wire, to the ace match. Ugh. But GG gets called. Dark does it. He will be this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. Oh. GG, well played. It went down to the wire, and honestly, if only Oliveira had realized what Dark was up to, like, he was looking good this game. Oh my god. Just forced into a really awkward base trade scenario instead. And GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark, and shout out to Oliveira, because hey, he may not have won the tournament, but he took down Hero and he made Dark work for it, forcing the ace match. And there were a couple of moments here and there in a lot of these games, in a lot of the games that Oliveira lost, where if things had barely gone his way a little bit more, then he would have been able to win. You know, we would have had a different series. So a very close series overall. It's great to see that Oliveira is still in form. And yeah, GG. Congratulations to both of our players. Congratulations. Oh. And yeah, with that, we are done. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much, Shuyi, for the raid that we got earlier as well. Hope everyone had a great time this tournament. I know that because we had the Shuyi raid, there were a lot of Terran enjoyers in the chat, and a lot of people were cheering for Oliveira. And to be fair, how could you not, right? Like, he's a world champion. He's a really humble guy as well. He's a really easy person to get behind. Alas, no Terran champion this week, but regardless, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves, and you were able to enjoy all the good games that we had. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we are done here for the day. It's been a pretty intense weekend for me. Last night we started casting at 11 p.m. and we finished at 8 a.m. this morning. I went straight to bed. I went straight to bed and woke up 6 hours later to cast ESL Open Cup Asia. And thankfully, we don't have another cast this evening. Thankfully, we can take some time off, at least a little bit. I'm just double checking because I've been wrong before. Yes, so we don't have a cast tonight, so thankfully I can get some food and rest up for the evening. If you enjoyed the cast, and if you want some more, and typically I do cast with a co-caster, whether it's Asher, or Chase, or Yaku, or Kuro, or Chappie, or whoever else is available. Unfortunately, today I did solo cast. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Unfortunately, today I am on my own, but usually I have a co-caster, and if you want to tune into some more CranKy Duckling action, we'll be live tomorrow for World Team League Code A, the first day of Code A. We are going to be doing our best to follow Platinum Heroes because we're a little bit biased, and we have a lot of love in our hearts for Vindicta. We want to be casting Vindicta, we want to follow him in his road, and his team's road potentially into Code S of World Team League. So if you're interested, then check us out tomorrow in just over 24 hours. I know it's not at the best time for America, it's pretty early for the Americans, so again, not at the best time, but if you happen to be awake, you can tune in to the World Team League Code A broadcast. Meanwhile, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you want to support us, we have a Twitter, we got Facebook, we got Instagram, we have all the social media, so you can follow us for when we go live. You can join our Discord server. All of our VODs are uploaded to our YouTube channel as well, so if you can't tune in live, you can always tune in to our YouTube instead. And tonight, in a couple of hours, we are going to be announcing, or we're going to be revealing all of the all the challenge links for our events. We did recently announce 3 consistent regular tournaments from the CranKy Ducklings that are going to be coming out, and we are going to be posting signups tonight, so keep an eye out for that. Sparkling Tuna Cup, Grand Platypus Open, and the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. I know, silly names, but we like to be silly. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. 3 events are going to be coming back here. They are going to be debuting in the coming days. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested in supporting North American StarCraft, Latin American, Oceanic, Southeast Asian, some of these smaller regions. Then you can check out our Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. You can support us there if you wish. Yeah, it's one of those things where I know there's been a lot of community support for a lot of events. KSL is the most successful of those for the Korean scene. And the Korean scene do need a lot of support, but so do some of the other smaller regions as well. And I know that these smaller regions don't get as much attention, and I know we ourselves don't get as much attention, but, we're doing our best, we're doing our part. The Patreon is available to fund the event and to grow the events as well. We've had some support, but not too much, unfortunately, but regardless, we're going to be, running the events as best we can. I think since our announcements, we've gotten 2 patrons, which is better than nothing. it's something. Oh god. And again, it's one of those things where even if we don't get funding for our events through Patreon, we're gonna run them anyway. Like, we have the funds to be able to at least support these events on a consistent bi-weekly basis. I would love for them to be weekly. I'd love that. That's kind of my inner goal. Like, I would love for that to happen, and hopefully we can get there at some point. Maybe it's going to be easier to kind of promote kind of the support of these events when they actually do start. I mean, we can start casting them and be promoting them on the fly. So we'll see. We shall see how that goes. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Stick around, because we are going to be raiding Ozcraft. I believe Briz Vegas LAN is currently live. Let me just double check. And there are some Duckling adjacent people there. If you want to tune in to some some Australian StarCraft, you got players like Probe, Azure, Chappie, and Chase, two players that are very, very close to the Ducklings here, as well as some other players in the Australian region. Then there is a LAN going on right now, and we are going to give them a raid. So if you are interested, stick around and give the Aussies a chance. Oh, Probe versus Azure is going on right now. Let's go. Let's go, Poppy. We will give them a raid. And again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for WTL. And have a good evening, everyone. Have a good evening. We'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Ciao. Ciao.